This is a new vlog. I took a weekend trip to Chicago with my parents. My dad grew up in Chicago and I have a lot of family in Chicago. And so this is my first time going back since I think 1997, if I'm not mistaken. So I was around 4 or 5. So it's been a minute. So this is my first time going back in literally decades. We had a great time and we're gonna go ahead and get into it. I hope you guys enjoyed the vlog. Our flight to Chicago was Thursday evening, and from Hobby to Chicago Midway was about 2.5 hours. Day one started with breakfast at my cousin's, and then we went to a metro station so that we could take the train downtown. Once we got off the train, we took a short walk to get to the river. The first activity of our trip was a river cruise, and we did the First Lady Architecture River Cruise. This cruise was 90 minutes long, and we had a tour guide. She was very informed about the history of the buildings and the different types of architecture. We went around 1 p.m. and luckily the weather was perfect that day. Definitely bring your glasses if you're gonna go on any type of river cruise. Even if you aren't sure about the weather, just bring it just to be safe. They had food, more in the snack genre, available, and they also had different types of drinks, coffee, tea, and alcohol. The restrooms were available downstairs on the same level as the food, and the restrooms were very clean, and I was very happy about that. Very much so enjoyed this cruise. I 100% would do it again. Also, as a nerd myself, I couldn't help but look at certain buildings and recognize them from different Transformers movies. So I also thought that was pretty cool and was geeking out a little bit. we got off the cruise and just walked right across the street from the river, there was a Fannie Mae, and we stopped for a little chocolate break, and I got some dark chocolate caramel. And then we went over to get some deep dish pizza because we were in Chicago and we couldn't not have deep dish pizza. We went back to my cousin's for a quick change and came back out as we had tickets to go see a show at the Goodman Theater. We saw Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. We ended up having a pretty long conversation in the car on the way back to my cousin's about the show. It was good. We enjoyed it. I am not so familiar with Ma Rainey, so it was a really good show, and we had lots and lots to talk about in the car on the way back home, which that is what art is supposed to do, start conversations.
Yeah, that's how she died.
We started day 2 at Hash Browns for a good breakfast. I love breakfast food, so I very much so enjoyed my meal here. And we drove over to the Griffin Museum of Science and Industry. On the way there, we passed up the Obama Presidential Center, which was still under construction at the time, but it was pretty cool just to pass by and see it. So we came here for 2 reasons. I love museums in general, but we came here to see 2 exhibits. The first one was Crafting Character, the costumes of Paul Tazewell. He is the costume designer for many things. He did the costumes for Harriet Tubman, the movie, The Wiz Live, Hamilton, the musical, West Side Story, the movie, and Wicked, the movie. And we got to see some of the costumes up close and just being able to see the details of each of the costumes. It was honestly amazing. My dad is the one who got me into musicals, so him being there, being able to see the different costumes, we were all just amazed. And West Side Story was actually the first musical that made me fall in love with musicals. And again, that was because of my dad, so it was really cool to see 2 of the costumes from the movie there.
Nothing to do what they do instead. We want to make sure they are comfortable in the clothes and can do what they need to do.
The second exhibit we were there to see was the Spider-Man exhibit, and feeding more of my nerd self, it was just so cool being in there. They had some of the old comics in there and just seeing the evolution of Spider-Man. They had different villains and they had a Miles Morales sculpture and a little area for him. And then the last thing was the multiverse of Spider-Mans and had examples of all the other Spider-Mans from all the other different universes. So it was honestly just such a fun exhibit. They had this very detailed mini sculpture of the city of Chicago, and on some of the buildings they had superheroes, which I thought was funny. This one was Ant-Man, and they had Wonder Woman and Superman. It's pretty cool. We went and stood inside the tornado wind tunnel, and it was pretty cool. It was kind of cold in there. We also got to experience this Tesla coil, which the sound is very loud and very sharp, so incoming. For dinner, we went to Dixie Port Kitchen. It is a Black-owned restaurant. The food was very good. I definitely would suggest you making a reservation. We did have a limited amount of time, but I definitely would love to come back to see what's new on the menu. We started off breakfast at my cousin's, and then we were going to head to Indiana that evening for a birthday party, but my cousin had to stop and get some cakes. But on the way, he dropped me off at the Starbucks Reserve Roastery. This Starbucks is 4 stories. The first floor is for to-go orders. The second and third are for sit-down orders. And on the 4th floor is a bar. I saw many espresso martinis. They have different experiences and tours available to book. I will also say that the menu is different. They didn't have Earl Grey tea, which is what I normally drink. They just had black tea, so I got that. It was fine. But if you do plan on going, just be a little open-minded. They may not have your usual, and just try something different. There was a line out the door when I first got there, but it went very quick. I don't even think I waited 5 minutes before I got inside. But it was pretty cool being in there and just seeing the different floors. I loved it. The last stop of the trip before heading to the airport, we had breakfast at Messler Kitchen Bar and Lounge. Again, I love breakfast, so I very much so enjoyed our meal. And the syrup that I used for my pancakes came in this cute little beaker. So much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I have more travel vlogs coming up very soon, and I'm excited for you guys to see it. So until next time, bye.